We have present. We haven't heard from Councillor Paul Bell yet. Might be on the way in. Other than that, everybody is present. So do we need any leaves of absence? No. I will do the acknowledgement of country. Acknowledgement of country is a way that anyone can show respect for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander heritage and the ongoing relationship with traditional custodians and owners of the land. So, just a welcome to country is a mark of respect and a chance to acknowledge the past and continuing connection that Aboriginal people have had with the land. So we go to the confirmation of minutes of the previous meeting, which was held on the 16th of April. Small meeting. Somebody please move that they're approved written to Councillor Salter. Welcome, and second to Councillor Griffith-Lane, and welcome to Councillor Bell. So is there anything out of those minutes that you want to raise? So we'll have a move in a second, and all in favour, please. Minutes. Right, thank you. So the outstanding issues. Margaret, would you like to speak to those, please?
Yes, thank you through the chair. The two items at the top of the list that you have before you are the first one. I haven't, as of today's date, contacted CQU to progress this very important matter, but I give an undertaking that that will happen before the end of this financial year. The second item on there is in progress through the General Manager of Infrastructure and Utilities. I don't actually have a date as we sit here that I can come back to council with that before CAB today to provide you with a expected finalisation date. In terms of the items that are there in green, as per the administrative processes, now that we've reported that they are all completed, they will be removed from the outstanding meeting actions by the next meeting.
So, question, Margaret, if just going on the drought, the drought management plan, if it's to with the infrastructure and utilities, should it actually go to the infrastructure and utilities standing committee, or come through there, or does the actual governance side of it of making policy sit with?
I think making policy through the chair. I think making policy would come through here.
Would come through that. Yeah.
It's leadership and governance.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
However, I suppose we'll just keep
I'll
keep a track of it through
There's two sides.
two sides, but the actual making the plan and
then adopting the policy.
Progress there. Thank you. Anything further on the outstanding committee actions? Okay. Upcoming agenda items.
Happy to talk to that as well through the chair. The upcoming agenda items are all sitting with myself, and whilst the progress is in progress and not started, we have recently pleased to announce that we have a new new manager of governance, James, who I will ask to come down when we get to the meeting proper to introduce him to the councillors and also to our live streams. So we have a large body of work in terms of reviewing our policies and a range of other matters in relation to this standing committee. And that will be the first order of business for James to get onto, considering this is only his second week. I haven't got much to report there, but I anticipate that by the time we enter into our new financial year, we'll at least have a plan and some actions with some dates to be able to report back to this community on our approach moving forward.
Thanks, Margaret, and welcome, James. Welcome to the council.
Hi James, how are you?
Any material personal interest, conflict of interest, or personal gifts and benefits? I see Councillor Bell has a gift in front of him.
No, it's not a gift.
It's not a gift.
It was a raffle prize. We won a fair and square.
Nice position.
Very good, thank you. Okay, so we'll move to 10.1, please.
Thank you, through the chair. If we can ask the CEO and Emma, who is the acting manager, safety and wellness. Emma's sitting with us today and supporting the CEO in talking to the bi-monthly safety and wellness update.
Do you want us to use this? Yeah, it'll come through better for the live streamers. Just like to acknowledge Madam Chairman, Mr Mayor and councillors. Emma and I are happy to be here at today's Leadership of Governance Standing Committee to talk to you about the bi-monthly Safety and Wellness Report. Just like to clarify that our Manager of Safety and Wellness, Sandy Schofield, is actually on personal leave for a little while, and she's back next week. And Emma's not acting in that role, but she's certainly been filling in and taking on extra responsibilities in Sandy's absence. And it gives me pleasure to hand the microphone over to Emma, and Emma will take you through the key points in the bi-monthly report, and between Emma and I, we're quite happy to answer any questions that the committee may have. Thanks, Emma.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So taking a look at our safety performance metrics, for the financial year to date, we've had a total of 108 incidents. For the period of March to April, we've had 27 incidents. So those have been 9 first aid treatments, 5 recordable injuries, 1 near miss, 5 report only incidents, 1 notifiable incident to the regulator, and 7 contractor incidents. So out of those 27 incidents, 14 of those have resulted in injuries. Taking a look at our 5 recordable injury incidents for the period, we've had a worker with a twisted knee on uneven ground, a worker aggravating a pre-existing injury walking on uneven ground. We've had a lower back injury from moving bins. We've had a worker sustain a soft tissue injury after slipping and hitting the side of his torso on a job truck. And we've also had a worker receive a laceration to their hand after contact with a chainsaw. So that was our notifiable incident. Taking a look at our performance indicators, we've set a target to reduce by 10% from the previous year. So our target is at 47 injuries, and we're currently sitting at 44 for the year. Looking at our lost time injuries, our lost time injury frequency rate is currently sitting at 16.67, which is slightly higher compared to our LGW group average of 13.98. We are sitting slightly above from the same reporting period last year. With our lost time duration rates, We're currently sitting at 30, which is again slightly above the group LGW average of 21.61. However, we are sitting significantly lower than we were at the same time period of last year, so 30 compared to 37.5 last year. So what this does tell us is that while we are having slightly more lost time injuries than last year, the duration of those is dropping and we are getting people back to work sooner. Moving on to our safety report, on the 9th and 10th of April, we had Stephen Penfold from DRA Safety come and do our safety management system audit for us. This is as part of the enforceable undertaking that we've entered into. This was the second audit out of 3 that we need to undertake as part of the EU. So that audit was conducted using the National Self-Insurers Audit Tool, which helps us determine our compliance with the Australian Standard for Safety Management Systems, but also assists us with our obligations as part of being a self-insurer for workers' compensation. The findings for that audit resulted in a score of 70.8%. So that not only determines that we've met the minimum requirements for an effective safety management system, but it's also a large improvement from our audit, which happened at the same time last year, where we where we scored 57.1%. So some things to note from the audit. Our audit last year, we had 6 partial conformances and 2 non-conformances. Our audit this year, we've returned 0 partial conformances and 0 non-conformances, so we've been marked for conformances with all of them. Also noting our opportunities for improvement. So our audit report last year, there were 84 opportunities for improvement, whereas this year we've only received 21 opportunities for improvement. We have had an improvement across all of the audit criteria, but notably there have been large improvements in hazard and risk control, responsibility and our emergency preparedness and our training and competency. So the full report has been attached for your perusal, but some of the key points from it, our strengths in our training and our verification competency program, which is progressing well. Our general safety awareness by our workers is good, with a positive attitude displayed towards safety, and our chemical management compliance has improved significantly, although we do recognise that we do have a lot of work still to do in that area. And our key opportunities that we noted for improvement were around developing traffic management plans for our landfills to reduce the risk of pedestrian and light vehicle interaction with heavy vehicles, and also continuing to work on our segregation of our chemicals. We're expecting to see further improvement over the next 12 months and hopefully improved audit score this time again next year. Looking at our enforceable undertaking, we've committed to delivering 51 deliverables over the 3 years. To date, we have achieved 35 of those deliverables within the budget and the timeframe. Moving on to our wellness report, we currently have 2 non-work related cases, 7 workers' compensation cases and 4 cases pending approval from the insurer. Some of our wellness programs which we have undertaken recently include our manual handling training. So we've engaged Connect to deliver a Smart Move manual handling practical training to our outdoor workers. We've had 8 sessions to date delivered all over the Central Highlands region. Our key learnings taken from that, a high amount of back, shoulder and knee injuries come from incorrect manual handling techniques and develop over time. And these can be easily prevented through small adjustments to how our staff carry out their lifts. As an extension onto that, our next step with that is re-engaging Connect to undertake some ergonomic assessments on site for our plant operators as well. While Connect were here, they also did 30 ergonomic assessments for our indoor workers. The key learnings from that one are you can sit your way to an injury, and it is important that workstations are set up to prevent the prevalence of regular office injuries such as neck, shoulder and back pain, carpal tunnel and tennis elbow. And we've had a review of some of our current equipment and desk setups, and we've received a report from Connect recommending where we can improve there.
So, excuse me, just on that, you see a lot of stand-up desks as well as Is that part of this?
I believe that some of our staff have had those recommended for a pre-existing, if they've got already pre-existing back problems, but we're mostly focusing on their chairs and how those are set up with the desk, because we can do a lot to prevent injuries there with those.
Yeah, I might just add on to that'll obviously be a budget consideration for council, because what we're finding is some of our furniture is substandard and old. And even as I look around this boardroom, even though you probably don't want to hear it, some of the furnishings here probably need to be looked at in order to not create any health problems later on. But more importantly for our workstations, where people are at them for long periods of time. So we are updating desks and equipment, but I just wanted to flag that there'll be a requirement to do that over the next few years to bring our workstations up to standard.
Thanks, Scott. Carrying on with our wellness report, our drug and alcohol testing. So we undertook testing at the Capella office and depot in March. 34 staff were tested and there were 0 non-negatives. We also have our flu vaccination clinics. So they've been scheduled for all of our offices, and we've made arrangements for our workers in our areas such as Terry and Ralston to have those done with their local health centre. So those are well underway and we're seeing good uptake, but we'll be able to report further on numbers for that once that program has concluded. So that is the end of my report. Happy to take any questions.
Can you just tell me what a catch-up clinic?
We're potentially looking at if a large number of staff are unable to attend the scheduled clinics, we would schedule a further clinic for them.
So is there any comment, questions?
Madam Chairman, if I could just add a couple more bits of information. The audit result is obviously a big achievement for the organisation, and something that our manager was very proud of before she went on personal leave, so that's been a big turnaround for the organisation. That needs to be contrasted against the incidences that Emma's taken you through. Some of those are on the rise, and that's a real concern to the organisation. From a cultural perspective, it's quite normal for every toolbox talk, and the toolbox talk is a term we use for any meeting with staff. So it could be that the planners meet, and even though they're office-based workers, they still call it the toolbox talk. So we've got that common language across the organisation. So work teams have regular toolbox talks, some daily, some weekly, some fortnightly, some monthly. At every toolbox talk, there's a discussion on safety, and that could be a safety share. It could be unpacking something that's happened to promote greater awareness. So even with that positive change, we're still seeing a degree of complacency creep into the organisation, and some of these injuries are certainly preventable. So I know that the manager and the safety team and Emma are working on fresh strategies to try and encourage people to be more observant and more careful regarding what they do. It's an ongoing struggle, I suppose. As we make improvements in one area, we might see a bit of slippage in another area. We're trying to embed everything. But we'll keep you posted on that. I guess it's a challenging area, so we've got to continually come up with better ways of helping people connect with their safety responsibility within the organisation. I did mention those Vine updates. I just wanted to touch on that briefly. Councillors all have access to the Vine now, and if you're not having a look at that, I certainly encourage you to do so. You'll see a lot of traffic there around things that relate to internal matters and staff gatherings and minor events. That's all part of it. At the end of the day, it is our intranet. But there's also some more serious messages there where you'll see updates on achievements, projects, forward works, and Emma and the team put together a regular safety update. And those toolbox talks are referred to quite often. The supervisors, the overseers, the foremen, they will download and print that, and they'll read it out or engage with their workers regarding that content. So that's working really well. Have a look at that if you get a chance. And lastly, I'd just like to reference feedback we received from the new Audit Committee Chair, Mr Graham Webb, PSM. Graham is an experienced man, and he's been involved in local government for a long period of time, and he certainly congratulated the organisation on the level of detail that's provided in this report, this bi-monthly report. He hasn't seen that in his travels, and he's encouraged us to keep doing that. I just wanted to mention that because sometimes we take these regular reports for granted. There is a lot of detailed information in these reports, and we're quite happy to continue to provide it, but it's good to get a little bit of positive feedback from our new Audit Committee Chairman. Thanks, Councillor.
Thank you very much, Emma. Oh, please, yes, of course we do. So the recommendation is that the council receive the bi-monthly safety and wellness report for the period to 30th of April. Something with that, Councillor Nixon, second Councillor Biruka. All in favour? Thank you. So that's the only report. Is there any general business?
Could I just have that maybe the committee should record our appreciation of the work undertaken in regards to the safety audit, and just reinforce, I think, what the CEO just said is it's been a good turnaround and some good outcomes. So maybe we could record that our appreciation of the work undertaken and pass on those thanks to the staff, please. Yeah, sure. I just can't. And the other one, if I can, Chair. Now we have a new governance, on governance person. I was just wondering if we could have a report, maybe the next meeting, in regards to compliance and our compliance regime and how our compliance monitoring works. I think the local government compliance is absolutely, it's fairly complicated and it's significant in the range of areas that we can have to comply in, whether it's been health and safety, whether it's been water and water quality, or whether it's workplace health and safety, as we've just seen from that audit, and other places. But just if we could have a breakdown first off of our compliance framework and how it works and who's in charge now, and how we make sure that we are complying with all of the federal and state acts and regulatory requirements that we do see. And if we could just bring that back to the committees.
Thank you, Councillor Bell, through the Chair. Approximately 18 months ago, we commenced a piece of work around the legislative compliance framework that was initiated from LGAQ in terms of to help local governments be able to demonstrate compliance to all of the legislation that we need to be held accountable to. And it was quite a complex tool and sort of, I think, almost put us in a bit of a tailspin. A lot of feedback has been provided to LGAQ on that particular compliance tool. And my understanding is that they've made a significant change to that and have attempted to remove the complexities of it so that we can come back to councils and provide a simple framework or simple reporting tool that demonstrates our compliance to that. So yes, that is part of the work that I'll be working through with James to come back to council in the near future to report on that.
Maybe we just monitor that as we're going through it. You know, I'd like to see what some of the new framework is and what that's looking at. But it's, as I said, I just forget how many acts we have to respond and regulate, and we're asked to have some regulatory response to, or we are responsible to, whether it's the EPA, whether it's, and I'd just like to know how we manage that from an operational sense.
One of the previous governance officers had a tracking program, and when different policies had to be reviewed and that sort of thing. Is that still within, is there still a tracking program or?
Yes, Councillor Grimacombe through the chair. So we do have that in terms of we have a register that has when all our council policies and administrative policies are due for review, and those are brought to attention to the relevant person or department that's responsible for those, and they are reviewed accordingly.
There's a large body of work, James, to be undertaken. Anything else from anybody else? Okay, well, that's it.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I'll close the meeting and thank you to our live streamers. Thank you very much.